your mental health is priceless. That's one lesson I learned because I almost had a mental breakdown. I spent 3 days on a psychiatric hold, 72-hour hold on the psych floor in the midst of this incident. Your mental health is priceless. We also have to understand that our gut is God, that intuition, that discernment. You're not crazy.
Facts.
You're not seeing things.
Facts.
You're not hearing things. You're not overthinking. If you feel you have this nagging feeling that something is wrong, then it probably is. I'm not saying going on some witch hunt, which I never did. Actually, the information came to me. I received an anonymous letter in the mail. I wasn't even looking for anything. Somebody sent me an anonymous letter in the mail. And then the very next day, an email from Super 8 popped up on the computer, thanking him for his stay. And I'm like, we ain't been to no Super 8.
Ooh.
He was that stupid to actually put his email address down.
Welcome to the Love Is Podcast with your host, that thorny chick, Karen KK Rose, and her co-host, the lovable a-hole, that's right, I said lovable, Mr. DK Walker, where they will be discussing love, relationships, family, life, sex, self-help, and what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur. Why? Because love is everything, and everything should be loved. Now to today's podcast.
Hello, everyone. It's your girls, that thorny chick, Karen KK Rose, alongside my co-host, the lovable asshole, DK Walker. DK.
Yes.
What's poppin'?
Same old, same old. Ain't too much change since last.
Just watching too much TikTok. Listen, this is your fault. You got me in TikTok.
I don't got you in, like, you's a grown woman. You know how you a grown woman? And when you sit down to use the bathroom and smell like a grown woman is using the bathroom. So I don't got you in nothing.
No, for all you know, it smells like roses. Literally like my name.
Yeah, okay, right. Mm-hmm. you the type come home and tell your husband, like, no, I'm not. I didn't cheat to get pregnant. It's divine intervention. Say that bullshit for somebody else. Like, what the? Yeah, okay. Right. You about worse than, yeah, all right. Okay. Your middle name Mary? Yeah, okay.
Terrible. This how you doing? This how you doing?
That's how you do yourself. What's going on with you, man?
Nothing much going on. I feel like, we live in the great state of Ohio. You can get 4 seasons literally like in one day. The other day we woke up like in the middle of the night. It was like freezing rain. So of course it sounded like, I don't know what to tell you it sounded like, but I was like, what is that noise? Cause I'm like, it's something like, like outside dripping or something, like it just was weird sounding. It went from freezing rain to normal rain. The next thing I know, I'm going outside and it's completely warm and sunny out. I'm like, all right. I said, what's going to happen next? The tornado from the Wizard of Oz, and then we all going to end up in Kansas. And then it was like partly cloudy, and then it would be sunny, and then it would rain. I'm like, listen, this is too much going on in one day. I was like, I don't know if we going back to Jumanji phases or what, in the year of, and coming up on the year anniversary, the world closing down. Everybody's like, oh God, what does this mean now? I'm like, listen, I don't know who rolling the Jumanji dice, but go take the board game from them. Burn the board game.
No, I just think, and of course women are going to be like, oh, he's so sexist. That just goes to show you that, Mother Nature is just that mother, meaning woman, meaning female. Like, she going to do what she going to do when she want to do it. You know what I mean? Just got to deal with it, So, like, the weather can be moody, like females. That's right. I said it. I stand on it. Call me a sexist if you want to.
Sexist.
Yes, proudly so. Proudly so. Yeah,
but other than that, the kids are good. They've all been here. They're all here a lot more. I was like, as soon as the warm weather broke, I was like, y'all come home for the weirdest reasons. But they've been they wanted to go to the park and go for a walk, so they've been hanging out with my mom a lot. My guy needs his basketball hoop up, but I'm like, bro, we're trying to wait till we get the garage up. But looks like the basketball hoop gonna go up first. He's like, Kay, do you need to put sand in it or water? I was like, sand, dog, sand. I was like, because you put water in it, as windy as it is here. I was like, you ain't gonna have a basketball rim, left standing. So I was like, no, I gotta get sand. He was like, all right. He was like, Alexa. I was like, you bet not tell Alexa nothing. My guy A will be here next weekend. I actually picked him up from daycare for the first time last week. He was super excited. And I'm the Gigi that knows all the songs on the kids' playlist on like Spotify because he likes Trolls and Smurfs and all that. So we were in the car jamming. His mom called and he's like, "Mom, hang up the phone." She's like, "I'm trying to talk to you." He's like, "No, I'm trying to sing my song." So I was cracking up. So that's funny. So all the kids are well. All things are turning up roses in the life of the Thorny Chick. Like that play on words.
Did you, yeah, you practiced that last line?
I didn't.
You came off the top of your head?
I did. I'm getting good at this.
Okay. You should not lie to yourself. Anyway.
Oh, here we go.
like we just stop lying to yourself.
Come on, Mary J. with your hateration. Come on.
Yeah, well, it's not hateration. I'm just, you got let somebody else tell you that you're great. Don't tell yourself that you're great. Shit don't work that way, right?
The lies.
Yeah, do not tell yourself let somebody else validate your greatness. You know what I mean? That shit be fantasy unless it's me.
I manifest my greatness. Oh, right.
Unless it's me. I'm going to tell myself I'm great 24/7, 365. But anyway.
Because you're mini Muhammad Ali.
Yeah. Well, shit. Ain't nothing mini about anything Muhammad Ali. But long story short, since you didn't ask, everything is cool on this side of town. Family is great. I'm still a sinning Christian. Yeah, that's about it.
That's it? That's all?
Pretty much. I mean, shit, don't too much. Like, when you get to a certain age, a lot don't change unless you change it, right? You get into, and it's sad in one sense, right? Because you just get into a routine. And then, of course, you have to shake up that routine, especially if you're married, which I am, right? So I have to shake that up just a little bit, you know what I mean? Keep the family on their toes. But, for the most part, man, work home, while I'm at home. That's about it.
How's everybody's favorite?
Say again?
I was gonna say, how's everybody's favorite girl?
Who's everybody's favorite girl?
MJ, the spokesperson,
see,
the PR,
there you go.
The security for the Love Is podcast, sir.
I don't know if she's everybody's favorite girl, but my favorite girl, her birthday is today as of this recording. So I don't know when y'all going to hear this, but today is March 13th and today is my mom's birthday. So as soon as I kick your monkey ass to the curb, I am going to give her a call to wish her a happy birthday. I wish I was, could go see her. But I'll make something happen sooner rather than later.
Well, shout out to your mom and tell her happy birthday from myself and obviously Love His podcast because she's pretty much a celebrity on our podcast. She gives it. I love her because I love her when you call her and then she's like, "Okay, well, you guys go podcast, have a great podcast." She's so loving. She's so concerned.
Oh my God, really? That's not the same woman that raised me. Moving along.
It's not supposed to be. I appreciate the woman I appreciate the woman that beat you just like you appreciate the daddy that spanked me. Listen, we in the boat together.
No. See, you got a spanking. I got, borderline child abuse. I still love you, Mom. It's all right. I walk with a permanent limp.
You got what you deserved. Listen, every time my dad got spanked me, it would break his heart.
Why do men lie? Because I had to pop MJ one time. I promise you, I did not feel the bullshit my parents was telling me, right? It's hurting me more than it hurt you. No, I popped you. That shit felt good because you deserved it.
Listen, I don't think any child believes it. The thing is, I think the part is that, for me, I don't tell my kids that corny line. I don't lie to them. I don't feel any kind of way about spanking you. You got out of line. I asked you multiple times to stop. Your monkey ass want to keep going? Well, come on with it. This is what you have bought and paid for.
Right. So I'm not going to deny you the gift that. Right. I'm not going to deny you the gift of this ass whipping that you've been asking for. Well, that will make me a terrible parent, right? Let me lay the hands upon your candy ass. Anyway.
Not your candy ass.
On your candy ass. I'm trying to tell you me, right? But that's one thing I can say before we move off the personals and whatnot. I only had to pop Marley once. We was actually, I think I told the story before on the Best Buy. I did. On the podcast before I did. We was in Best Buy. She wouldn't stop and, she was about to fall. And in her mind, she got everything. I got it. I know it. I got it. I know it. I got it. I know it. And so I'm looking at her like, okay, she gonna fall and this floor is really hard. So before she fall, let me just go ahead and just reach out and lay hands on her like my name is Reverend, right? So I laid hands on her. Then the sales clerk came up. He seen the whole thing and he was stuck because, of course, he's from that much younger generation than mine. I don't believe that, and I don't want to be presumptuous, but I don't believe that generation believes in laying hands on kids. Me, I'm from that old generation. I say you go ahead and lay hands once every blue moon on your child just because you can. But she deserved it that time. So she went around the corner to get herself together. My man stood there with his mouth open. I'm looking at him. He was like, and then he finally broke the silence and said, can I help you? I'm like, nah, you can help her, to get herself together. That's what you can do. Since you standing there with your mouth open. Like, I'm not above beating your ass too, Slim.
Okay.
Anywho.
Okay. That's me. Like, if you catch me popping one of the kids in public and you look at me funny, I'd be like, you want one too? Because you ain't above catching it. You ain't above it.
You don't say that. Like, but people kill me. Like, you could tell the people that's really, I like to call, right. No. I won't say don't spank. That's really pretentious, right? And they want to wait till don't wait. If the child embarrasses you to do what you ask them not to do in a certain place, you give their child their roses right then and there. Matter of fact, don't give them the roses. You give them the thorny part of the roses. Here you go. Because this right here, like, we're not gonna wait till you get home because you didn't cut out when you acted up when you was in the store. You acted up when you was in the restaurant. You acted up when you was out and about. So since you acted up, let me get you some act right in your life.
Listen, where you show out is where you get tore out. You want to act out in the restaurant? We gonna clown in the restaurant. You want to do it at Walmart, Target, Publix, wherever? That's where we gonna go. You want to do it in the airport? I got something for you. I'm not scared of my kids. And my whole thing is, everybody used to be like, I know when I was in school, like, back in the 80s, they were just coming out with that whole, don't spank your kids, child abuse, call CSB. I'm like, I ain't scared of them neither. Listen, because they didn't really take nobody's kids for getting a spanking. They took your kids. They took people's kids because, like, you were super, super unfit, or like drugs was just, you really just couldn't get it together.
You were abusive, right? And I understand, and there's a difference. And I think, I don't know, man. I just don't think that, if you're a good parent, right? I don't think the outside world should be trying to, and that's the problem that I think America has. And I know, I don't want to go off in this rabbit hole, but let me throw this 2 cents off of here. Let's go ahead and put a bow on it and move on, because we do got something special for the listeners. But I think that the government intrudes a little too much within the household, right? Right. You can't tell me, how to. You can't tell me how to. And I think that's one of the doggone freedoms that, I'd be damned if I ever fucking relinquish you. You're not going to tell me how to do what I'm going to do in my house. That's just not happening, especially when it comes to my child, right? And I think what happens because, especially within the Black community, and it's too late. I'm down a rabbit hole. Look, especially within the Black community, what happens is it's already the fact that, most Black young males went to jail, right? Most Black men went to jail, right? And so what happens was the whole household got broken up, right? And then, it stopped. That the lessons that was learned from fathers, all that stopped. And that left, our Black women to fend for themselves, right? And then, of course, they come through with the BS, how to, put your child on timeout, how to coddle your child, how to have a talk to or reasoning with. And don't get me wrong, there's a time and place for that, right? Like I told you, I only had a pop, and I didn't beat her, just popped. It was a reflex thing more so than anything else, right? And we do more talking than anything else. But that one pop lets her know, like, okay, my daddy, he capable. Or he capable, right? And that's all you got to do, you know what I mean? So I prefer to have those moments with my child instead of having my child have moments within the court system. And that's what people are failing to realize. But anyway, moving along.
Say test my gangster. We are not... We're not doing Baldheaded Hoe Shit Awards today, nor are we doing What the Fuck News. It's okay. Don't worry, listeners. The ratchetness will continue on the next episode. I promise. But DK wants me to act like I got some sense today. I don't know how that's gonna work out.
That's gonna take a Oscar-worthy performance for you to act like you don't got some ratchet in you.
Right. Sheesh. Right. And got the head cut. Like, so listen, we all know, like, the hold'em is, at exponential levels. Like, I'm ready. I'm and the weather has changed. Listen, all the, bald-headed hoe shit want to come out of me, but
that's terrible. Like, you just want to walk out the house. It ain't even sundress weather. You just want to go sundress weather, no drawers on.
Right. Right. I'm trying to get that don't get fucked up text. I'm trying to get that don't get fucked up text. Like, it's real fun and games, when you're at the gym, and it's real fun and games when you're out there doing this, that, and the third. But when you're really out here in life doing it, then it gets real different. However, granted, we're not doing What the Fuck News or Baldheaded Hoe Shit Awards, we do have something just as exciting. We have a guest today, Katrina Oliver Thomas. Katrina.
Hey.
Hi. She came in all nice and timid and just quiet and polite. The polar opposite of me and DK.
Yeah, don't.
Okay. All right then. Say no more.
And she was like, hi. I was like, oh Lord, you could just hear the goodness in her voice.
Ooh,
versus,
child.
you know.
Look, wait on that second book.
Versus the hell. Listen, versus the hell and the hoe-ish.
Look, you got to have balance. Balance is what I like to call it.
DK gonna be the hell and I'm gonna be the hoe. We've just fallen into our roles.
That's sexist.
About as sexist as that Mother Nature comment you made earlier, but we ain't gonna talk about that.
Oh, hey, we can talk about that, young lady. Thank you very much. And like, why can't I be the hoe? Right? Like, men are hoes too. Like, don't take that away from me.
I will co-sign on that.
Yes, you are. Like, bro, you will get smart. You got smart with her on the last episode. We talked about this. Katrina, he got smart with his wife in the middle of podcasting, like we were on a break or something. Man, she wrecked his office and walked out.
I know
like
she
G
did.
Status. She was like, she literally knocked the stuff off his office desk, looked at him like, do something, and walked out. The time before that, the day, like 2 days before that,
Somebody
if not the same day, she comes in there, she talking to her. He said something smart to her. She turned off the lights. I mean, she really Teddy Peter. Turn off the light.
Okay.
Click is all I heard.
Right.
I was like, oh, you gonna have to find a flashlight, a candle.
Wow.
He was like, you not gonna turn the light back on? She was like, no.
Right.
And walked out.
Exactly.
I said, oh, drop the mic.
This is abuse I take. I'm not understanding. See, women be playing like how, okay, see how our guest came on all timid, right? So you have to understand, a person that whispers, they got a whole lot of shit with them. No disrespect, my guest. I'm trying to tell you, like, don't let women look.
Always the quiet ones you got to be careful of.
You goddamn right. You know, the thing is, my wife is not necessarily quiet per se. Her tone is measured, but she just she won't let me leave. I need help.
You the girl in the basement?
Okay.
I don't know what I am. I'm just in the basement with girl, boy, man. I'm just in like somebody. I just need help. Like somebody.
Girl
call
in the Basement
somebody.
is a new movie. I think on Hulu.
I'm sorry. I'm not really a big TV person and whatnot. I don't even watch sports I used to.
I've heard people talk about it. I haven't watched it myself.
I haven't watched it yet either. I heard people talk about how crazy it is.
Right. So that's you, DK. You the girl in the basement.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Since you know this, you have a phone beside you. Do me a favor, right? Mm-hmm. Discreetly call 911.
No. I call 991.
Right. Exactly.
I don't give a damn. Call 311-991. I don't care who you call, as long as they send help. The abuse has to stop.
Listen,
trying to tell you, y'all, like women. Yeah, shit, man. Men get abused too, goddamn, and I'm one of them. Let me stop. It's just jokes. People think I'm serious.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you, like
my
Toby
wife is not standing right here. Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell. Right, that's the whole thing. She go hear you talking about it, and then next thing she go manifest.
Exactly. Be in the doorway.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you, like Toby, try Jesus, not me.
Okay.
Man, look.
Hello.
I hear y'all talking. I like Toby, my man, right? I was on Toby before he blew up. But look, now, so sometimes my wife just, she's a little aggressive and I'm kind of scared. But, moving along.
Like it.
I don't. I'm not into that aggressive. I'm not. Like, know your role. And my role is don't say nothing. This too shall pass.
No, I'm not into it. I'm not. Just know your role. I can't with this.
I'm trying to tell you, this too shall pass. Oh Lord, the things I do.
You gonna turn to Ike?
No. She didn't turn to Ike, right? You know what I mean?
You eat the cake in a bag. Trust and believe.
Right.
Listen, wait. MJ make the cake. You eat the cake, and Nikki make sure you eat the cake.
Right.
This is terrible. The stuff I go through. Anyway, we're not gonna talk
it out.
Right. We're not going to keep talking about me and my abusive relationship. We're not going to do that. We do that.
Don't say that. Don't say that. It's going to soundbite that the wrong way.
I don't care, right? Like, I promise you, if a person hasn't been listening to podcasts long enough to know when I'm serious and not serious, like, cool, take what you want. Like, I'm not a prisoner or to public opinion, right? Although the platform is public, right? You know, you got to be you. You tell jokes, you tell bits and pieces of your personal life. You just be yourself, and your tribe is going to find you. So, yes, I'm being abused. Somebody help me.
Listen, it's not even a public opinion. You would have to wake up with a fuck to give. That is the MO of you. You would have to wake up. You would have to wake up with a fuck to give.
I'm too old. Even when I was young, I had very little. But as you get older, you're like, what? Okay, pass remote control, pass something, like, because this shit is not working. Anyway,
so Katrina is a friend of me and DK's. I'm losing my voice. Oh, my bass is going.
Come on back, Barry White. Come on back.
Right. I got to work on it. Katrina is a friend of both DK and ours. But listeners, since you don't know Katrina, let me help you know her. So Katrina Oliver Thomas is an educator, mother of 3, and recently divorced. She has learned to live life on her own terms. Her new book, 10 Things I Learned When My Husband Had a Girlfriend. I'm going to say that again, because I'm sure y'all thought I read that wrong, which we all know my reading comprehension is kind of high. 10 Things I Learned When My Husband Had a Girlfriend chronicles her journey from learning of her ex-husband's infidelity to how she has grown from that experience. So you guys, welcome Katrina.
Thank you.
What's up, Katrina?
Nothing much.
Hey, Katrina.
Me on this Saturday morning all early, but I'm up.
Yeah, well, you know, grab a cup of coffee. You know what I mean? We about to go ahead and spill some tea. That's what we're going to do. You grab your coffee and you're going to spill some tea is what we going to do.
Sounds good.
So with that being said, what led you to want to write your 2 things? What led you? I'm wrong. I am so wrong.
Say, hold on. You want me to do it?
No. Because you know, like your heels are heavy. I got you. Stay down, don't trip. Look. So, but any guests that we have on the podcast, we ask them one question before we get into the meat and potatoes of the podcast, right? So, since this is called the Love Is Podcast, please do us a favor and tell us, what does love mean to you?
To me, there's a and I know we just talked about balance and stuff like that, and I'm gonna read this scripture and then probably get into some crazy here later. But like I said, it's all about balance. I got this revelation about this, that scripture about love is patient, love is kind. It's 1 Corinthians 13, 4-8. And the revelation I got about it was to take the word love out and insert the person's name that you think you're in love with or that says loves you. So for instance, instead of, I ain't got nobody, so I'm just using my own name. Katrina is patient. Katrina is kind. Katrina does not envy. She does not boast. She is not proud. Katrina does not dishonor others. Katrina is not self-seeking. Katrina is not easily angered. Katrina keeps no record of wrongs. Katrina does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. Katrina always protects. Katrina always trusts. Katrina always hopes. Katrina always perseveres. Love never fails. And I just think it's important, if you can't substitute your person's name for any of those, because to me, those are all perfect boxes to check off. Absolutely. And if he or she not checking off all those boxes, I ain't saying you got to, get up and run, but you definitely need to have a conversation. So yeah, that's what it is for me.
Okay, cool. And I like that, right? But let me do you slightly just one better, right? Instead of right, because I think everything starts with oneself, right? And as you was reading that and you was inserting your name, I inserted my name, right? And I'm not sure how old they are. I got through all of them besides one, like when it says love doesn't keep record. Like I'm sorry, like that's my only hang up. Like if you wrong me, like I make a mental note, because like you can wrong me a couple of times and what happens and whatnot, you'll start to lose me. But the point I want to make is true. You should put your significant other, your spouse, whomever, and put their name in there, right? But before you even do that, if you're going to ask for that standard of love, then you yourself have to put your name in that box and find out, do you measure up to that standard of love, right? And I told you I got them all besides the record part. Like, okay, that's me. Okay. Yeah, that's me too. Yep. Oh, that's not me. Oh, the rest of those me too. Okay, cool. So, but I think that's a great way to look at love. And you definitely gave me something to work with and help me to, have a different point of view.
But it equally helps you create an affirmation, not only for yourself, but for your partner. Like for somebody who's dating, it becomes it becomes the standard for yourself, but then it equally, because whatever you put on yourself, you start to project that. Because the partner that you bring in, you begin to mirror. So when you start to say Karen is, or Katrina is, or DK is, then DK, you're no longer, in the dating market. You're just doing self-improvement.
Right.
So, but for the rest of us who are dating, you begin to, not only affirm yourself, but then you equally begin to manifest the type of love you want as well.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah, well, I want to thank you for that point, because that's a good point. It is a good self-checklist as well. I do not.
Right.
I do not. I am not. And so it is a very good self-checklist. So I have to add that to my things to say about it too, because it is a good because you're right. What you want is what you have to have in yourself. But I would also like to say
Facts.
too,
yes, ma'am.
That's the beauty too of complementing each other. When people have things in you that you don't have, and when you have things in you that they don't have, you complement each other, and hopefully, pride aside, you're able to learn from, and like she was saying, take on those same attributes too. You start to mirror each other because you're complementing in those weak areas, so to speak.
Facts. So let me segue that into, why we have you here. Once again, thank you for being here. So with that being said, did you have this shift in where you're thinking before or after, the divorce of your husband and during his, him being, cheating?
This shift came during that process. During the course of my marriage is, which I've always thought differently about things anyway. Practical and realistic, yet hopeful and optimistic. Yes, I see what it is, but I'm hopeful that it will be better or things will be different. And that's any situation. I've always been let's find the silver lining in the cloud type person. But the shift in some other areas came while I was married, because we went to couples counseling. I went to individual counseling. I went through personal ministry, because I was made to feel that I was the problem. And I just kept, I just was like, well, what is it about me that I can't be the wife that he needs to be? Fix me, God. What is it about me? Why can't I love him like he wants to be loved? What is wrong with me? So because I just was convinced that I was the problem. So, and the tools and the advice and the counseling I got helped me to just focus. Not that they were saying, yes, Katrina, you are the problem, but it just came a point where it just came out. I was not ever going to be enough. So you focus on you and being a good person for you.
Ma'am.
You focus on you and being, when kids came along, being a mother to your kids and, being the best that you can be in that area. And that's what I did, which is why, after the divorce, I've not gone to counseling, but I realized the counseling and the help, the therapy I needed, I got it while I was married. And so that's my shift in thinking took place during my marriage. And we really started to be more or less roommates, because it was like, I'm going on with my life and doing what I know to do is right. And he going to be over there doing whatever it is he doing. And that was it. I couldn't, let it affect
Katrina,
me.
do you think a lot? I think me personally, because we've discussed this on the podcast before. There's an episode called "I Got Cheated On by a Crackhead," and I talk about, all those things with my ex. And I think a lot of women do, when their significant other cheats, they do make it personal. Do you feel the same way? Like, we take it on like, oh, this is something I'm doing, not something that they're doing?
I kind of took it personal until I saw her. Then I was offended and like the audacity. Because I'm not saying
that's my word for 2021.
I ain't saying it was, and I was like, hell to the no. That's Whitney Houston. That just popped in my mind.
You had that Beyonce moment.
It was like hell to the no. Because cheat up, not down. She was literally the opposite of everything he said he wanted in a woman. She embodied everything he actually said he hated. She was ghetto. She had 5 kids by 4 baby daddies. I think she had a high school diploma. So she, by his own standards, she wasn't educated. She liked to fight and she cussed. But you got me over here in this box being Susie Homemaker and a little perfect wife. And that's what you go out and cheat with? I was on fire. I was like, really?
Oh, I bet.
Really? I mean, but that's
the part I don't understand is that and this is the thing. So we're gonna put DK's favorite parent of mine, my dad, the general on blast. So my dad was a habitual cheater, hence which led to my parents' divorce. And he was in a similar situation. Like when my mom finally met his last wife, she was sitting there scratching her head like you had me, be June Cleaver, Claire Huxtable, and everything for the kids. She was a housewife. She had to keep the house clean. She had to make the dinners, had to do the laundry, had to make sure the kids looked good, did the homework, dropped us off at practice, picked us up. And then when she met the last wife, she was like, and this is what you want? So I'm like, I think it's the public opinion, or I think the version that they say they want is what they want. But at some point, I think when they just go to cheat, that it just becomes obsolete.
Right. Clearly, in that case, it was.
Well, okay. Right. So, anybody that's been listening to the podcast know that I got to keep it a buck. Because I wasn't always the husband I'm currently am, right? It's my 3rd marriage, right? And so if we're going to have a guest come on and be transparent, I too have to be transparent in all fairness, right? And so let me speak on from a male's perspective why men seem to fuck down and not fuck, if not equally, then up. And we got a saying that like I got a coworker, like, man, what do you do though? Like, if you got a boss, if your wife is a boss, you can't be fucking no coworker. If your wife is a boss, you can't be fucking no. You gotta. If your wife is a boss, you gotta fuck a CEO. And I'm just using that as metaphorically, right? So. My first 2 marriages, like, oh my God, like I cheated, like there was just, and it had nothing to do, right? I'm just being honest. It had nothing to do with, it was just opportunity and the level of freakiness that was there with that opportunity. And so what happens is, like, if it's good, most men gonna stay. And we know it's not our cup of tea, right? And some men are, and I can't speak for all, I won't do Steve Harvey, right? Some men are dumb enough to actually marry stuff that we know that we don't want because they're at least speaking to that one thing that we think that we gotta have, right? Because we put so much emphasis on at least 2 things, right? When we're younger, which is great sex and our ego being fed. Like, if you think about why men do what we do, like, ego being fed and then great sex. And I'm not saying that, men don't get that at home, right? But we also get a lot of other things at home. And I'm not justifying a cheating man's ways. What I'm doing is I'm giving y'all insight, right, onto why we do what we do. And I promise you, it's not right. So let me emphatically state that before somebody come for me and want to chop my head off, right? I'm already a sexist. I don't need to be a dumb sexist. So look, we do what we do because, like, you and you can have a bomb wife, right? You have very attractive wife, but there's something about that doggone chick, the way she popping that gum, right? There's something about the way, that little attitude, right? It's something about the way when she walks, she got a little extra, pep in her step, right? And so what happens, we start to feed that energy. And in feeding, because you can't keep, energy in both places, right? You can't be, the greatest husband alive, in your home, and then be in the streets, keeping tabs on your side. Like, somebody's going to feel that missing, and that's what happens. So I'm not justifying why men do what we do, but I'm giving you the reasons why we do what we do now. What happens is a dog going to be a dog until he no longer wants to be a dog. It has nothing to do with women. Let me put it out there, ladies. Stop thinking you can change a man. It's not even possible. We are who we are till we die. 2 things. We are who we are until we want to change and until we die. Bottom line, flat out. So what happened was I had to understand, like, okay, I needed to want more from my life, my situation. I needed to want more, right? So every time I seen something nowadays, I'm like, okay, cool, but it's not worth my home. Oh, she cute, but it's not worth my home. Oh, she got it going on, but it's not worth my home. But that took me becoming mature, for me having those internal conversations every time, because as soon as you walk through the door, you walk out your door apartment and you walk right into temptation. Like, if you're just out and about, like, because everything, I'm speaking for men, just looks good. And we wonder, like, oh, I wonder what that tastes like. I'd love to sample that. But the younger me, being specific, would go and see if the buffet is open to sample, right? The older me be like, no, I'm on a loving diet, right? Like, so I'm gonna stay on this loving diet.
I think too, it speaks to the testament of, when you're young, everybody goes through their whole phase, and some more longer than others. But equally, for me personally, it's just if you want to be kept, I ain't got to worry about what you're doing. If you want to be kept, you'll stay. You'll do what you're supposed to do. If you don't want to be, what's in you gonna come out of you. And when it comes out, please believe what's in me gonna come out too. Now it could be Ike, and it might be a pimp named Slickback. It might be the scene out of Waiting to Exhale, where I burn all your stuff down.
Don't do that. See, we didn't talk about that on the part. See, you can't give people that. See, that's bad advice.
The lies I cannot. No. You ain't gonna test. No. You ain't gonna test my gangster. And then because this is the thing. Okay. This is the thing. No. Because you already had your moment. Hush your face. The thing is this.
Quick. Jesus.
We want because when men try a woman or they do things. So since we're talking about cheating, when a man cheats, he still wants her to be holy and pray for him and be all that she can be for him. No. When you cheat, you broke the bond with me. So now I'm gonna act how I want to act, and I'll take it up with Jesus later.
Okay, I'm not knocking that. The point I was knocking in you giving your whatever, when you give your reference about, and I thought we had that discussion, right? So you always seem to reference, Waiting to Exhale when she burnt up his clothes in the car, right? Mm-hmm. So we see how that played out in real life. The chick that wanted to burn up the car, and then as soon as she threw the match in the car, it blew up, and then she went to jail with a burnt face. So you got to stop giving that. Like, look, females, don't do everything you see on TV. That shit was staged. And when she threw the match, I promise she was a stunt woman. You're going to keep having these females burn up cars, and they're going to keep getting their doggone fake eyelashes and eyebrows burnt off. Like, if you really care for your women folk, please stop saying that. That's the only thing I'm saying. Everything you said, I can agree or disagree with. Really don't care, right? But as far as the burning part, like, nah, you got to start referencing that movie, man, because you see how that turned out.
Listen, I ain't say I got to go do it.
You see how that turned out in real life.
I can find the Pookie. I can find
chick went to jail looking like a the chick with the doggone jail smelling like doggone gasoline and smoke.
Man, and as close as she was to the Jeep, she deserved it too, dummy.
She deserved it for doing it.
She didn't have no space between her. She didn't have no space between her and the Jeep. She got her what does Kevin Hart say? Her muffin top blown back blue. Because she ain't put no space between her and the car. At least the way to Exhale, she chucked it and gave herself time, space, and air. She gave herself space and opportunity. Katrina, I have a question for you. Do you feel like, and now the thorny side's gonna come out. I feel like this. Did you feel like, for those of us who are Christian, that when you go to counseling, that they typically make it about the woman, about what she's doing wrong, and how she has to better herself, and not him?
In my case, they did not. And actually, the one round of counseling we attended was with his brother, because at the time, the church we attended, his brother and my sister-in-law were the pastors. And so I was really kind of skeptical about going, because I'm like, well, this is his brother. But thankfully, he was able to minister to him and to us from a place of objectivity. As a matter of fact, very objective, because in chapter 5 in the book, me being transparent, owning what my flaws back in whatever Black Voices, that AOL chat room was out in like the early 2000s. I, everybody new to the chat room. Dialogue. I'm in there chatting with a guy, and it was basically the equivalent of sexting today, which nobody thinks about sexting now. Everybody does it, but if you married, you shouldn't be. And so that's what it was. Well, and it probably went on for maybe 3 or 4 weeks, maybe a month. But anyway, he printed out the transcript of that, took it to our pastors, his brother and my sister-in-law. And, they read it, and he was like, this all she want? Just some pillow talk? Give it to her. And that infuriated him, because he took it in an attempt to humiliate me and to have them, oh my God, I can't believe Trina would do this. How could she? And no, I'm not saying they co-signed on it, because, I knew it was wrong, and it never happened again. That I stopped. I didn't even stop because he caught me. I stopped because it wasn't right. My intuition, my consciousness kicked in. Katrina, you shouldn't be doing this. This is wrong. And I stopped. So I didn't stop because I got caught. I stopped. And so he was like, this all she want? Give it to her. But he was just such a prude in that area that, you know how you a little talking nasty. Talking nasty was beneath him. That was, no, he'd never do that. And so they were very objective. Another set of, a pastor that we went to, she was extremely objective. And they did sense at some point that I couldn't be as open as I needed to, because if I was, the times I did try to open up in counseling and share, he would sit in counseling and listen. But oh, baby, when we got to the car on the ride home, and when we got home, I caught hell. You would have thought he was talking to a child the way he talked to me. And so I'm like, it's no point in going if I can't really, truly express myself in what's supposed to be a safe environment in counseling. But no, fortunately, they were, and I know that happens, which is why I was skeptical about going to our pastors who were, my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law, but they were extremely objective, but it was him. So that's when I had to start going to individual counseling on my own to get it off my chest and to talk about things.
Right, because you needed the opportunity to be heard and it not be like the verse you read, not keep score.
He was a scorekeeper.
Now, when we get in an argument, now you want to throw it back in my face. Well, wait a minute, we're not in counseling anymore, sir. What I said there is over there. Don't bring the checklist to me.
Right. So, quick question: what are some of the things that the girlfriend of your husband taught you? I don't want you to give the the whole book away, right? Because just the title alone is interesting and whatnot. And even before you answer that question, could you tell people where they can go buy your book?
My book is available on Amazon right now, ebook and Kindle version. Oh yeah, not the same thing. Kindle and ebook and paperback. Kindle version is $6.99, I believe. Paperback is $8.99, but you can purchase it right now on Amazon.com.
Yes, ma'am. So what are some of the things that your husband's girlfriend, that sounds odd as fuck to say it, what are some of the things that your husband's girlfriend taught you?
Your mental health is priceless. That's one lesson I learned because I almost had a mental breakdown. I spent 3 days on a psychiatric hold, 72-hour hold on the psych floor in the midst of this incident. Your mental health is priceless. We also have to understand that our gut is God, that intuition, that discernment. You're not crazy.
Facts.
You're not seeing things.
Facts.
You're not hearing things. You're not overthinking. If you feel you have this nagging feeling that something is wrong, then it probably is. I'm not saying going on some witch hunt, which I never did. Actually, the information came to me. I received an anonymous letter in the mail. I wasn't even looking for anything. Somebody sent me an anonymous letter in the mail. And then the very next day, an email from Super 8 popped up on the computer, thanking him for his stay. And I'm like, we ain't been to no Super 8.
Ooh.
He was that stupid to actually put his email address down. Lord have mercy.
Paper
you see what I'm saying?
He wanted the rewards. He wanted the rewards.
Child,
points.
We didn't even
at Super 8.
Exactly. But we didn't even stay at Super 8 when we travel.
Hotel, Holiday Inn. Listen, he was listening to that song.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then, one of the most important, which all of the lessons are important, but, don't beat yourself up. Again, Mary J said it best. That's why Lord Jesus Thick of It came out at the right time. Cause I was like, I wasn't perfect, but this shit ain't worth it. But you cannot beat yourself up because when I didn't learn that he was a narcissist until after we got divorced. I learned that was the name for his behavior, the gaslighting, the manipulation, the flipping everything back on me, making me think I'm the crazy one. Ooh, I learned that that's what that was. And in learning that's when I decided to get a divorce. I learned it at the narcissist name after the divorce. But when I realized I will never be enough for him, no amount of anything I do, no amount of words I say, gifts I buy, time I spend, acts of service I provide will be enough. He will always find fault with something I do. And I'm like, this is no way to live. And I chose not to continue living like that after almost 25 years.
Ooh, wee.
So what did you learn about you from all of that?
That I was stronger than I think. I was stronger than I was giving myself credit for. It wasn't that I was so dependent on him that I thought I couldn't live without him. I just didn't realize I could do it. outside of him, because truth be told, I was running the household anyway in terms of paying the bills and making sure repairs and things got done. I was doing that anyway. He was just a paycheck that came in, because we had been living as roommates for a while. But I was stronger than I realized, and that I was enough. I was enough. I was just not enough for him. But for the next man, I'm gonna be all that and then some for my next husband.
Ooh.
Amen.
Speak on it. Speak on it. So speaking of your next husband, I'm pretty sure you have dated since, your divorce. How does that work for you? Do you go in optimistically, or do you go in like, a tad bit reserved and wanting, your suitor to show more of himself before you give some form of commitment?
I wish you could see my face right now. Cause it's that Maxine Waters, really. That's the look I'm getting. Dated. You know what? Man, listen, that's a whole dated. Men, oh my God, don't even no, I have not, for real. Because the men I have, I'm not saying all men. The men I have come across, which are, decent men, good jobs. Like on paper, they check all the boxes. But in reality, they don't know what they want, so they can't tell me what they want. And this go with the flow mentality. And see, that was another thing. I got married in 1991, divorced in 2016. So much stuff had changed. This go with the flow mentality. We just gonna, you just want to fuck. They want the they want the benefits and the joys of having a wife without the responsibilities, and not even a wife, just a relationship. They want all the benefits and the joy of being in a relationship, but they don't want any of the commitment and the responsibility that comes with it. They just want you to come through.
I don't think they want the relationship.
They don't. They just want you to come through, and they want you to come through. And this whole go with the flow mentality. I was like, I don't understand this. But I was like, you know what? If these the games we playing, let me put on my jersey and suit up. Put me in, coach. Okay. I'm just saying, because what we're not finna do, I did not know.
Let me lace up my J's.
Baby,
let me lace
put
up
me in the game. And the way I keep myself grounded is because I understand that's what it is. This is what we doing. I'm not delusional enough to think, oh, one day he gonna choose me. One day he's gonna want to be with me for real. No, like you say, just like when you want me to come through, I want you to come through, and I want you to come through. And that's it. But when the real man comes, the one that is for me, I pray to God that he knows me when he sees me, and that I know him when I see him. I've never been one who believed in making someone else pay for your past. If we're in the present, and we're going to build towards the future, and both our pasts are going to be left where they are in the past. I just hope whatever trauma or whatever he's gone through, that he's dealt with, so that we can create a healthy present that will lead to a healthy future.
Wow. Man. So yeah. If y'all can see me, I'm sitting here like real life smiling, because she came through. She said,
"Put me in, coach.
Put me in." I'm saying, if these games we playing,
but that's the reality of it. I think a lot of people I'm gonna pick on DK because he's on the other side of the mic. But like for me, we were talking about a couple episodes ago about he was like, you dated weirdos last year, and I'm like, listen, I have to take some personal responsibility for what I attract. Right. I give you that. However, I'm like, you don't date, so you don't know what it is out here. Like the pond ain't as big as you think it is. The pond ain't that great. You go through this whole I see you, you see me, we change numbers, and then it's talking phase. Listen, I'm a great communicator. I am. I got a lot of thoughts. I could be real, educated, or I could be real ratchet. I could be right in the middle. But after a while, I don't want to talk to you no way. Like, I'm over it. Like, I figured out where your mental is. I figured out where my mental is. And like you said, it's either come through, dick pics. I find out you liking everybody on the gram, and you over here.
Yes.
You try to go to what was this weekend? All-Star weekend. And you listen, you at Super 8 Holiday Inn, the Marriott, you everywhere now, getting rewards points. Like the dating game really is trash.
I got you. Let me help y'all out, right? Let me, because I got love for both of y'all. Like, I guess, like, first of all and whatnot, I'm going to need a copy of that book autographed. So as soon as we get off, you just tell me how much, the book's going to cost. And because I need an autograph, I don't want to get it from Amazon. So maybe you got to get it, then sign it, then send it to me. But as soon as we get off, I'm going to shoot you my information. We're going to make that happen, right? I'm going to buy it on Strip Alone because, first of all, I support. But second of all, she said, put me in, coach. Like, that shit was gangster. That was gangster without the extended clip gangster. But anyway, ladies, let me help y'all out, right? And this is not the first time me hearing this, right? We got an upcoming podcast speaking because Leslie Jones came down and said that black men are broken. Now, we're not going to go down that rabbit hole, right? And I think that's a broad statement, but, the more and more we do have guests on, the more and more, and female guests that seems to be, the universal truth at the moment, right? You know what I mean? That seems to be like, there's a problem within the dating arena, right? So and I understand, ladies, what y'all going through. I do, believe it or not, right? I do. But I want to help y'all, right? Because I think y'all forgetting one thing, right? And I've heard Katrina, quote the Bible, and I know that, my co-host is a card-carrying Bible thumper, herself, right? Not a problem. I know and understand this, but I still wholeheartedly believe that y'all are forgetting one thing. There is nothing more powerful. There's nothing more dominant than woman. And what happens is a lot of women that don't know their power have messed it up and makes the standard of dating subpar, right? Like, y'all got the power, right? And it's not even with, the pussy. It's not. Let's keep it a buck. It's not. People think like, oh, okay, no, it's not. Because there's nothing special, but it's nothing. Your pussy ain't shooting no fireworks. That shit ain't dripping gold. I don't give a fuck what that wop do. It ain't nothing. Because if it was so special, it would be exclusive. But you have, so many people that got the same thing. Right. So it ain't special, right? But when I say women got the power, right? Like, when you force men to meet you on your level. Now, the harder part about doing that is so many men are not capable. So you're going to have to go through the phase of, not being lonely, but being alone. And women get that part confused. They think, I'm tired of being lonely. No. It's okay to be alone. Like, you're quiet as kept. You're not really alone because you're with yourself. And then if you love yourself, that's the best company to be in. And then you got to take pride in being in your own company, right? Until that guy that is worthy of your time and attention comes through. Now, I'm not saying go be a hermit and don't fuck. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying don't be a hermit and don't go date. I'm not saying none of that. But what happens is if a guy shows you a little bit of possibilities of being a decent human being, right? I didn't even say a decent man. I said a decent human being, then you go all in because I'm tired of, and I need, like, you got boxes that need to be checked, right? Now, and we ain't talking about the box in between your legs. We're just talking about the boxes of you want to be spoken for. We want to talk about the box of bringing somebody, around during the holidays. We want to talk about the box of like to say, I got a babe, I got a man, I got a significant other. Like, nah, stop. Be honest with yourself and ask yourself, is the person I'm fucking with right now, is he worthy? And then don't cut him no cut calls because you like him, right? Don't like the fuck out the door. Does he match what I need? And if you have more no's than you do yeses, then you know what category to put him in. Like, women forget, like, we can only act how y'all allow us to act. But you got so many women that's messing it up. Now we get to act the fool. We get to come. My name is Todd. Here's my dick pic. The bar so low is pathetic. Like, I'm happy that I'm married because I don't want to be in that chaos. But a small part of me was like, God damn, I would love to be in the midst of that bullshit. Is that easy now? So I guess what I'm trying to say is this: like, look, like, do what you got to do to get through, right? But you still don't forget that you got the power. And don't lower your standard because society has lowered, because female society has lowered theirs.
It's not even just, but the thing is this, we as women have the power. Yes, we do have the power, the dynamics to change the game. However, I'm going to need Jesus to bring me the Space Jam ball. I'm going to need some of these players to get their skills back because whatever is out here, listen, this ain't even Boston Celtic mini shorts skill. Whatever is on the court, no, thank you. I'm going in retirement, Katrina. I'm going in retirement. I'm waving the flag. No. I'm going to go make my check off my endorsements on the bench for right now, because I need the Space Jam basketball to come back, because what's on the court
I've only been divorced since 2016. I didn't really start actively dating until the end of 2017. And I did meet a guy, and he was nice. And I was glad I actually met him first, because it let me know that there are decent men out there. And I mean, we're still friends. I wouldn't say we dated. Well, I found out it was a situationship. Because again, these were terms that were new to me. Because in my mind, if we're going out on dates, we're visiting each other every other weekend, we're cooking meals together, we're Netflix and chilling together, we're going to the park together, we're doing relationship things, weekend getaways. That was a relationship to me. But I found out it was a situationship. I was like, oh, okay. But I mean, we were doing those things just with each other, because I'm a loyal person. So when I'm with you, I'm with you. That will not change. Well, if we're dating exclusively, which in my mind, I thought we were, talking on the phone all the time, texting, all this relationship stuff. But I found out, it's like, a situationship. That's what this is. Oh, okay. That ended after 7 months. And it was fine, because he was like, I know what I want. And I know that I want it with you. I just don't know if I want it right now. Oh, okay. Well, while you figure that out, I'm going to be over here going on with my life. I'm not going to sit around and wait, which he wasn't expecting me to. But like I said, because he was nice, he was decent, he was kind, he was respectful. Thankfully, for that being my first encounter, it set the stage so that when the opposite of that came along, I would have been able to recognize it anyway. But I'm just glad I didn't encounter a fuckboy first, because I would have really been turned off to dating. And I'm not going to lie either. I didn't get this mentality until probably about a year ago. Well, yeah, during COVID, before COVID. So maybe like the end of 2019 into 2020. And I was like, okay, so this is what we going to be doing. I was like, because I tried to be decent and kind and respectable, but it's like, they don't want that. They don't want nice. They don't want the person that's really concerned with building with them and making something great out of what could possibly be. They don't want to be concerned with trying to talk and get to know you and this, that, and the third. So I'm like, oh, okay. So we just going to be having sex. Well, all right then. And, it's just, yeah. So I keep one in my pocket, just in case. Cause I'm over it. I am over it. I actually just, cause I deleted all the dating apps off of my phone. I deleted all my accounts, deactivated them, cause I'm tired. It's just the same thing. Swipe left. The one you do swipe right on is some foolishness. And I was like, why is this? But it's like DK said, women, we've put ourselves in a position because of, and I think this is my theory. Men have been being men for so long. Women have finally not really caught on to it, but just been like, oh, okay, so this what they doing. So now we finna be. Men been on fuckboy shit since the ages have started. Now women like, okay, so we gonna be on some hot girl shit. And it's like a vicious cycle that nobody is wanting to take the other person seriously. And few of them don't recognize serious and real when they see it, because it's all about, for some women, well, what bill you paying? When you getting my nails done? Not all of us are like that, but everybody comes to the relationship or the talking stage or whatever with their guard up, with the wall up. But you got to understand, a wall works both ways. A wall keeps things in just as well as it keeps things out. So the wall you built up to protect you from the fuck boys, the wall you built up to protect you from the hot girls, then that same wall is keeping you from seeing people or accepting people with pure intentions that don't have anything but your best interest at heart and would really legitimately like to get to know you to see if we could, you could pursue something, worth pursuing. So if everybody just needs to It's a meme that I really love. It's a heart and a brain, and the little heart is on a crutch and it's all bandaged up, and the brain, no, it's the brain, whichever one it was. But the goal, the thing of the meme is follow your heart, but take your brain with you. You've got to give love a try.
Mhm.
You've got to be willing. A part of all that love does this and does that is sometimes you don't know until you try. That's my point. And just be mindful. Yes, it's okay to follow your heart, but just be mindful. Recognize those red flags when you see them. But at the same time, you got to recognize those
Facts.
green flags too. Every flag ain't red. What about all the good
Facts.
things he or she is doing? All the great things, the kind things, the thoughtful things. But no, you thinking about, you sitting back waiting on the
Right.
other shoe to drop. He can't be this good. She can't be this perfect. But what if she
Right.
is?
Right.
It's not about being
Right.
honest to God, perfect person with no flaws. It's about being a person that's perfect for you and what you need. And that's what I think is missing with dating. We're not willing to give each other a try based on giving that person the benefit of the doubt, taking them at their worth, as opposed to what so-and-so did or said 3 weeks ago, 3 months ago, 3 years ago.
Listen, you can't sum that up no better than right there. What
A woman- I'm sorry. A woman, I'm so sorry. A woman after my heart, right? Like, this is real. Like, I'm over here I'm assuming, right? And if I assume wrong, I'm assuming I'm a little older than Katrina, but I feel like a proud father. I promise you. Like, I'm over this joint so happy. Like, yeah, it's about time somebody really just call a spade and keep it moving. But Kurt, I'm sorry I cut you off. Go ahead. I'm just over here smiling, cheekbones high. Like, I already got, fat cheekbones. They're just really high right now. Like, I'm just, looking like a chipmunk full of food. Karen, go ahead. Go ahead.
Are you sure, Alvin?
Yes, Theodore. I'm pretty sure Theodore.
All righty. Well, you really, you can't package what you just said any better. So my final question for you, Katrina, is what does 2021 as far as dating goes, relationships, and your authoring?
2021, as COVID will allow, I will be out and about more because he's not going to come knocking on the door. He's got to see me. So I'm purposing to get out more, attend more activities as COVID and social distancing will allow. And I am hopeful. Like I said, may he know me when he sees me, and may I recognize him, when he steps to me. I'm not one for hopping in inboxes or, making the first move, but I'm working. Shoot my shot. I don't know. I got mixed feelings on that because I know men like to pursue. It's in their nature. But at the same time, again, he ain't just gonna, literally, he's not going to knock on my door. That would really be God. If he knocked on my door, I would know that he was sent from the Lord. But I know that ain't going to happen. So I'm trying to be out and about. Just to get out there. In terms of authoring, I got a second book in mind. Just got to figure out the logistics of how I'm going to get it published once I do start writing. And I'm going to start a podcast as well. I can't forget about my podcast.
You should. I promise you.
My podcast is Divorced, Single, and Saved. And it's pretty much going to chronicle my attempt at dating shenanigans, my just other shenanigans I've been up to. Everything from co-parenting to rebuilding yourself financially to being single, whether you're single through divorce, single because you're a widow, single because you've never been married, and just how some of that kind of reflects with the part about being saved. Because yes, I do love Jesus, but I love Tito's vodka too. Am I an alcoholic? No, I'm not. But again, just all of that, because to me, there's been some teachings that have not been as balanced as they should have been in the church concerning some things. So,
absolutely.
Again, and based on, me being transparent, sharing my experiences and how some of that teaching lined up and some of it did not.
Well, I will be listening with my Tito's and lime in a slight splash of pineapple juice. Yeah, I'm a Tito's girl too. DK, you have any final questions?
No. Sometimes you don't, you gotta leave perfection alone. Let perfection be perfect. You know what I mean? You just gotta leave that alone. Just leave that.
Well, this is the Thorny Chick, Karen KK Bros, alongside my co-host, the Lovable Asshole, DK Walker. And this is where we, we put the bow on the show. Katrina has given us great jewels. Please, please, please check the show notes for her Amazon account as well as her social media handles where you can find her, because big things are happening for her. She is definitely going to set the dating world ablaze, or she's going to give us a good time while she does it. This is where DK ends the show with his daily Love Jones.
Proud pappy I am. Proud pappy I am. Okay, look, so just in case y'all missed it, right? It's a difference between listening and hearing. It's a difference, right? You go to the doctor to get your hearing checked, right? You never go to the doctor to get your listening. You don't, right? And the difference is you can't help but hear as long as your ears work. Like you can be sleeping if there's a loud noise, because your ears never shut off. You'll wake up because of the loud noise. Because once again, you're hearing, right? But when you listen, when you actively listen to something, that means you're paying attention. Our guest gave I really don't even want to do a love. I really don't, right? Because she like my co-host said, right? She really, she really put everything in perspective, right? But I'm going to try my best, and I'm not even going to be long-winded. I promise you. I'm not. I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to get out the way, right? So she said, if I want to paraphrase her, she was like, guys been, and she was so right. Men have been on fuckboy. Men have been on fuckboy shit since day one. Men have been on fuckboy shit since that fuckboy took a bite of that apple. Yep. I really despise Adam to this day with his weak punk ass, right? But she also said women had a aha moment. And now too, they have gotten on a hot girl shit. Now, if you was just you hearing the podcast, you laughed and you glossed over that was a real laugh, as they say nowadays. I've listened to a few podcasts. That's a bar there, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and throw my that what she said was a bar, right? We say Jewel, Jim, whatever, but that was a bar, right? So, ladies, let me help you out from a man's perspective, right? I said this in the previous podcast. I'm gonna slow down. I'm gonna say it here and I'm gonna get out the way and let you go. Look, men is nothing to be equal to. It's like it's not deep. I'm not trying to be, right? Men are nothing to be equal to. The problem with ladies that y'all having with the whole dating thing, y'all think if a man can do it, so can I. But why would you want to? Like, what? Why? And while you're doing the exact same thing that we're doing, right? Two wrongs don't make a right. And if you're wondering why the dating pool is fucked up, it has nothing to do with the men, because we can only do what y'all allow us to do, right? If y'all took your power back, raised the standard back up, what happens? We got to fall back in line. We got to start courting, right? We got to start having meaningful conversation, right? All that stuff we have to have because the bar has been risen. But being as though we live in social media world now, where where it's easy to get to know somebody online than it is in person, right? You figure like, well, look, I can, let me see what you want to do everything that we're doing. But my thing is, why do you want to do all the wrong shit that we're doing? And I'm a man and I know I've been dating, but I got single male friends. Like, why would you want to? Like, you shouldn't want to. So ladies, y'all collectively, y'all can fix this dating problem. Just hold men at a higher standard when they are addressing you, right? I don't care how cute he is, right? I don't care if he's hot on TikTok. I don't care if he's killing the gram. I don't care. Hold men at a higher standard and don't be accepting of just low level entry, right? Like you're accepting low level entry into your pussy and you wonder why you're getting subpar results. Like, it's like, make him CEO. Like, I don't mean in a title sense. I mean, his approach has to be, CEO at all times. Like, cause you're a boss, right? So he has to be at least a CEO to even garner your attention. But as long as you keep letting these doggone data entry level employees inside your world, look at the results you're going to get. Like, come on, man. Like, women, y'all got the power. Take that shit back. It's not for me because I'm married, right? By the grace of God, until I die. So I won't have to be subjected to this wild cowboy bullshit. But ladies, like, it's going to stay this way until you be like, you know what? Nope, I'm not doing this. You know what? Nope. Nope. I'm not. Collectively, women all across the world, just collectively. And that's going to be kind of hard to do because women are now validated through the likes, the shares, and the comments, right? and they feel like that's love. But that shit is superficial. And here's why that shit is superficial. Because no matter how cute you look, no matter doesn't matter how much you're owning the moment right now, there's somebody that looks better right on your heels, and you're going to be hot today and not tomorrow. So ladies, collectively, like, just tell men that no, we want that old thing back. We want courtship back. We want love back. We want understanding back. We want communication back. Keep your dick pics.
Yes, keep your dick pics out of my inbox as well as Trina's. Listen, it's your girl, it's that Thorny Chick, Karen KK Rose. This is the Love Is Podcast. To follow us on any social media, check the show notes. Again, for Katrina's information, check the show notes. Patreon, TikTok, to find for the Love Is Podcast. It's also in the show notes. Listen, you guys are the dopest listeners. We couldn't do this without you. Week after week, you're making me and DK's dreams come true. You're taking our voices places our feet have yet to travel. We thank you. We love you. Have an amazing day on purpose. DK, tell the people bye.
Look, I'm not telling the people shit. They already know what time it is. Peace.
This episode of the Love Is Podcast has ended. But please be sure to subscribe for more great content on sex, entrepreneurship, life, love, and how to get through the BS of it all. And don't forget to rate and leave a review so we can continue to bring more of that thorny chick, Karen KK Rose, and, dare I say, the lovable a-hole, Mr. DK Walker. See you on the next podcast.